But this is my 2018 Chevy Colorado. It's the LT model. It's a 4x4. I've got a $1,000 rough country lift kit on it. I'm running the factory struts, the factory springs in the front, and in the rear I'm running the factory springs, lift blocks, and some rough country shocks, which you have to do because of the length required now from the lift kit, okay? So I wanted to test that out, even though I already know there's going to be some issues, okay? So, this is the first time I've been anywhere off the trail with this truck in this condition. I took it out when it was brand new, and I'll put a link to that video. Had no clearance. It did ride great. It was excellent. It just was too low to the ground at the time. So now it's a whole lot better. I did lose a lot of power because of the bumpers, the tires, the wheels. And that's noticeable coming over the pass to get out here. Also, my gas mileage has dropped. That's the price you pay when you do these things, okay? If I would have left it stock, I still would be getting, I was averaging 20 miles per gallon. So now I have no idea because the odometer's off and the speedometer's off right now, so I don't know exactly. I haven't checked, so. But anyway, let's get out of here. I just aired down to approximately 20 psi. I don't go exactly down to the last, little mark. It's close enough. Let's see. So, coming up this trail, I was able to come up in two-wheel drive. I got the tires aired down at 20 psi. I did get a little wheel spin every now and then, but I think the traction control kicked in or something, and it was no issue after that. Just a couple of spots. So as you can tell, first off, I'm running the ProComp AT Sports, a very mild tread, all-terrain from ProComp. Now, unlike my other ProComp all-terrains, these are made in Taiwan. All my other ProComp tires have been made in USA. But these had a $100 rebate on them. They were at a decent price, so that's what I got. I did not want the low-range E's. These are 10 plies. They're quite heavy. Someone asked, how heavy are they? Well, I put them on the bathroom scale with the wheel, and they were 103 pounds each. So there goes some of my fuel mileage there. But nice tread, very quiet, ride good. What can I say? The suspension needs a little tweaking. This rough country kit does not come with bump stops in the front, extended bump stops, and you need those because it's running a spacer, like a spacer kit, okay? Running stock springs, the stock struts, it's got extenders on the struts. So the bump stops need to be extended out too, otherwise the suspension will bottom out on itself. On this one, it could be the struts bottom out on themselves, or just the springs will compress all the way. So, other than that, it rides great. It rides just like factory, and why not, right? I'm using the factory springs, the factory struts. It rides just as good as factory, except on hard bumps, I can feel it bottom out. And I'm not driving aggressively. Every now and then I'll hit a rut or something, and I can feel it top out, clunk. So that's something I need to work on. I also need to put longer brake lines on it. This kit does come with extension kits. It's just brackets, and I'm working on getting some longer brake lines, some custom brake lines for it, all the way around. Definitely needs them in the front. The factories will work in the rear, but I've got some other plans to do in the rear. So extended bump stops in the front. In the rear, it's going to need, first of all, this came with a block kit. Okay. The lift blocks are going. I just ordered some springs Friday from Atlas Spring. They weren't cheap. They're like $700 for a set of Expedition springs, what they call Expedition springs. So that's something else I'm going to put on there. Blocks aren't very good for heavy four-wheeling. It's just a lot of extra stress on the suspension there and the U-bolts and all that. So I'm going to put new, I'm going to put longer brake lines in the rear. I'm going to redo the leaf springs. And then with those leaf springs, I think I can get a little more travel out of the rear with longer shocks. Maybe go with 2-inch longer shocks. Because right now, those aftermarket shots from rough country seem to be topping out. You know what I mean, topping out? Fully extending. Just, I noticed that turning into the driveway at 7-Eleven. I turn in the driveway to 7-Eleven, I can feel something in the back going thump. That's because the rear shock on the right wheel is topping out as I make the turn up the driveway at a kind of a 45-degree angle. And if you don't believe me, unbolt your shock, let it extend as far as it'll go, and it'll only go about 4 fingers, yeah. So you can see the shock right there, right? It will only drop down maybe, like I said, that much, maybe 3 fingers, 4 fingers, yeah. It's close. That might bring up some other issues though if I put longer shocks. Will the drive shaft be long enough? Okay. I know the brake lines will be because I've got those coming. But, so does that answer your questions? Sometime in the future, if I get enough likes and I start making some kind of money on these videos, I plan on replacing the front struts and coils and all that kind of stuff. But this is what we got right now. We're already running out of money. And I'm not done yet. Yeah. So let's continue on here as I'm cruising around. Just going for a little joyride. Gonna go down this trail. Then we can turn down there, and there's an old mine there. I don't know what the heck that is, but we'll go back. We're just going around this hill here with the power lines. One more thing. There was one more thing. Oh. Coming up trails like this, best to use manual shifting. I did a little experimenting with that right now coming up the trail, and auto is not very good. I mean, it shifts fine and everything, but it downshifts a little late. If you know what I mean. As I start hitting a steeper grade, the truck starts slowing, and then it downshifts. Little late downshifting. So the best thing to do is to manually shift this. Let's see here. Do that. And how you do that is you just take the let's see how do we do this here. How do we do this? How you do that is you just drop it down into L. See L right there, and you shift it with this button right here. So as you can see on the dash right there, it says 1, so I go 2, 3, 4. That means it'll shift 1, 2, 3, 4 automatically, but it'll stay in 4. So going down or coming up the mountain, up this trail, I had it in 2. So it'd start off in first, shift to second, and that's it. And that was perfect coming up. Kept my RPMs up at a perfect steady RPM level without losing any power. Going down this trail, I think I'm going to start off in 1, to downshift. This way I don't have to ride the brakes. And we'll see how that works. If it's going too slow, well then I'll adjust accordingly and shift it up probably into 2. Don't forget the seat belt.